Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun, Benzion. We're learning Gemara here on Yevamos Dalid 44. The Gemara talks about something interesting. The Mishnah on Gilon Abayz talked about Arba Achin and Su and Arba Nashim Omesu. The Gemara explains the Mishnah is talking about there's 5 or 6 or 7 brothers, right? 4 of the brothers are married to a woman, and they all die. Right, so he has at least 4 women that fall to him for Yibum. Harishus biyado, he could go and marry 4 women. Now, the Gemara has a question on the top of Memdal and Aleph, the 4th line. Meshafkile, do we really allow him to marry 4 women? The Gemara proves that we give him good advice. So, and the Gemara basically says it's not going to be possible for him to marry 4 women. So what does that mean? It's not going to be possible for him to marry 4 women. So the way Rashi explains, Rashi says, how is he going to provide parnasa? How is he going to provide food and clothing for all these 4 wives and their children? Right? He's not going to have enough money. Most people are not going to have enough money to. It's even harder to make ends meet just to have 1 wife and kids. To have 4 wives and kids, no one's going to have enough money. The Gemara answers, we're talking about the Efsharle. He's a rich guy, Rashi says. Sha'ashirhu v'yachal azuna, and he could still. So why does the Gemara recommend? So the Gemara persists. The Gemara says, Yihaki afil tuvan. Why does the Mishnah only say 4 women? If he has enough money, he's a rich guy, he can marry 100 women, which is in fact what the Shulchan Aruch and the Torah say. You can marry 1, you can marry 100 women. They have no right to tell you. The wife has no right to say, don't want to get any more women. That's up to you. You could. So the Gemara is the Eitzah Tova Kamash on the Mishnah by designating 4 women is telling you that it's a good advice only to get married to 4 women, not more than 4 women. Dalin and Tfeilok in order that you should be able to make mitzvah ona with each one of them at least once a month. Why? So Rashi explains. Ona b'chodesh. Ona shetal b'chacham erev Shabbos erev Shabbos zu esher priyayu yite meita miksuvos demati l'chada ona b'chodesh. Right. Minastam, when the Gemara is talking to a regular person, we're talking about Talmud Chacham, because everyone should be a Talmud Chacham. So Talmud Chacham's ona is he has to be together with his wife once a week. Therefore, if he marries 4 wives, right? So he does every week a different wife. So this way he'll be able to do ona by Mekayim Mitzvah ona, at least be together with all 4 wives every month. Each one of the wives at least once a month. Which is important because, because generally a woman is she menstruates once a month. Her nidus is like once a month. So therefore, at least one time during the time she's mutera, she's at a nida, she'll allowed to be with her husband. Which seemingly the Gemara is saying is important for the woman, because if the woman doesn't get this, she's not together with her husband at least once a month, she's going to get angry, she's going to get frustrated that her needs are not taken care of. To the point that the Mefarshim, the article quotes this explanation over here. That's only talking about Talmud Chacham, right? Rashi should talk about Talmud Chacham. Let's say the Gemara in Ksuvas talks about other people. For example, a Poel that works in a city, his ona is shtei pamim b'yom. His mitzvah of ona. He has more strength than a Talmud Chacham. So therefore, he can marry up to 8 women because twice a week he's mechuyev and ona. So therefore, if he has 8 women, twice a week times 4. So he'll be able to be with each wife 1 time a month. And the Gemara even talks about a Thailand, someone who has no job. He has a lot more strength. So therefore, he can marry probably up to 30 women. Once a month, right? Does it every day. So you can do it once a month, 30 women. That's what Rashi has understood by the Karman Asano to the Rush, this article quotes over here. There are a number of problems with this Gemara. First of all, what is the mitzvah ona? Is the mitzvah ona for the man or for the woman? Seemingly it's for the woman, right? Sheira ksusa v'nasa lo yigra. The Torah is talking about one of the things you write in the ksuva. Sheira is Mazon is provided with food that she needs. Ksusa is part of the clothing. Ona is provided with her needs in the bedroom, and she needs those things. So therefore, it's not fair. Meaning, previously, you marry 1 wife, her ona is once a week. So you marry other wives now, if she needs it once a week. So by marrying other wives, she's now only getting it once a month. So if it's for her needs, how is that fair? How is that fair to the woman? How is that fair to the woman if it's a mitzvah on the needs of the woman? Onasa, that's the way the Shulchan Aruch says it. Poreelo onasa, that it's a chiyuv for her. She needs it. The man doesn't need it. It's not for the man. It's for the woman. It's for the woman. Second of all, why are we talking about Stam Talmid Chacham over here? How do you know? The Gemara in Ksubos lists different jobs. There's like 5 or 6 or 7 different types of people. The Stam Gemara is talking about Talmid Chacham who only does it once a week. I'd like to suggest over here a different explanation over here. Not a different explanation, just a little bit more of an explanation over here. That the mitzvah of Ona, obviously you see from the Gemara, is not a chiyuv for the woman. It's a chiyuv for the man. It's a little interesting, the word Ona. Ona means to cause distress, right? V'nisem es nafsho seichem. It says by Yom Kippur, v'nisem nafsho seichem. What do you do? One of the things is you're poresh mitash b'shamita, right? You're not allowed to engage in dash b'shamita. It's considered enjoyment. You have to separate yourself from that on Yom Kippur. So Iyun is exactly the opposite. So it's interesting, the lashon of the Torah, onasa, Ona is, it seems like causing distress. I mean, if it's okay for the woman, cause her distress. I mean, it's a little strange. Also, the place where the Torah talks about is talking about shiva, an ama ivriya, where you sell your daughter when she's a young girl. Bno yadena, the person who buys her, wants to give her to his son. The Torah talks about it in that time. By an ama ivriya, doesn't even talk by a regular married woman. I'd like to suggest over here that, again, Ona is not something that's clear for the woman. It's actually a privilege for the man. That's what it is, a privilege for the man. Normally when you take the other woman, you have to, that's part of the ksuva, sipuka, something else in the ksuva. It says you have to mafarnes her, something about sipuk. You have to give her sipuk. Sipuk literally means you have to give her life. You have to give her what she needs. And what she needs has nothing to do with the Ona. It's exactly the opposite of Ona. Ona is a privilege for the man. Ona is privileged allowed to be with a woman without providing her needs, her entire needs in the bedroom. An orgasm. That is basically Ona. Ona is distressful to the woman because most women need, when you're together, that she also gets her needs taken care of. And Ona is when it's privilege to the man. It's tiring for the man sometimes to do it for the woman. So therefore, his Ona, he's allowed to do it once a week, or depends on his profession. He's allowed to do it if he's a Thailand. And the explanation being is that if you're a Thailand, you're someone who has talents, or you're free, you don't have a job, you have more prominence in the eyes of the woman. So therefore, you're allowed to take advantage of the woman more often, because she still looks at you in a positive light. If you have a lowly job like a gamal or a safan, so then you can't. So that's what I was saying over here, right? This is not talking about the woman, right? Even if you marry 4 women, you have to do kidei sipuka, meaning, and most women want to be together probably 2, 3, 4 times a week. I don't think they have a limit. They would probably like to do it every night. So that you have to do. You have to do kidei sipuka. It's just an allowance, a heter of Ona. It's a privilege for the man that he's allowed to do it. If he marries, let's say 5 women, the Gemara says he marries 5 women, then he's gonna have to, because of his strength, right? He's only allowed to do it, not his strength, his stature, because of his stature. So he's not going to be able to do each woman in a month, each of his wives, and he won't enjoy each of his wives at least once a month. It's for the enjoyment of the husband. So only to enjoy 4 women a month, and not 5 women a month. We'll have to wait for the 5th week for that. So we want him to try to enjoy each of his women once a month for him. So that's the mitzvah of Ona. That's the one it's talking about. It is an Eitzah Tova. You don't have to follow it. Good Eitzah Tova. It's interesting, the Shulchan Aruch, when they write this halacha, they seem to turn it into a halacha. They don't say Eitzah Tova. There's no mention of Eitzah Tova. It says you're only allowed to. Well, curious why Shulchan Aruch does that. But anyway, that's share Iyun Benzion for today. I hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow. Bye.